Who do you typically provide your services to, and what are some of the issues or obstacles that you faced?
The clients that we had, the kids, are all First Nations or First Nations background, and they come from all over the Fraser Valley in British Columbia. Our goal is to help the kids stabilize and provide services to them, but one of the bigger ideas that are part of the picture is we try to have them go back to their families, to work with them, to be connected with their communities and their families. And then while they're living with us here, the main goal is to try to stabilize, look for people in the community, like we hook them up with school education, counseling for the school. We look at healthcare, so we look for counseling services. We look for if they need psychologists or psychiatrists, dental, a broad spectrum of healthcare is a big part of what we do. We help work with or build together a care team built around the unique needs of that child. And that's basically our main goal. Plus, we connect to recreation activities. We do things just like every other home would do. Pizza nights, we go out for restaurants, we go peony if they want to go, camping if some of the kids want to do that, fishing. I took a couple of kids actually, went motocrossing. So we got them into the training for that, and then they did the motocrossing. They loved that. Then they go in summer camps, register them for summer camp. So that was like a daily thing, or they went away for that. So it's like full service. We just bring everybody in as much as we can. But one of the main thing is working with the families too, to make sure that they stay connected, and any cultural activities that they want their kids to attend to with them or by themselves, we set that up as well, and we facilitate that. We go with them. Some of the kids love going to the powwows, which are quite fun, especially if you love the bannock. And they do the drumming. They've done through some of the native associations here. They've made drums. They've made some ointments. They've done, I think they did candles. They went and did a couple of dance groups. So it's a pretty broad spectrum. I know one of our kids was connected with an elder and spent some time with him and really enjoyed it. And they learned different traditional techniques and a lot of the lore around that. So he was quite excited about that. And that's kind of how we do it.
Perfect. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the issues or obstacles also that you faced?
Yeah, some of the getting the kids to accept some of the services. They either aren't sure about them, they're afraid of telling their stories. I mean, a lot of the kids come with trauma, and they don't want to share their story because they're either embarrassed or they're uncomfortable or it's just painful for them. Others, once they get in, they're really looking to have someone hear them and listen to them and take what they're saying to note. Others, it's like, they're hurt or saddened by being separated from their family. And it's a common thread over the years. I've been doing this like 12 years, 13 years, is no matter what the trauma has been, that child still wants to connect with the family. And that's just a common thread going through all the kids, most of the kids. And yeah, that's a common thing we find.
Thank you. So, Michael, in your experience, why do children come into care?
The kids that we generally get, there's a lot of family trauma, generational trauma, and this goes back to the residential schools, a lot of it just the impact of that, and just coming forward over the decades. Services have not been provided to these people. And the absolute horrors that the children in residential care or the schools went through has never been fully addressed. It's never been put out there for the public. I think part of it is people don't want to know. People would rather blame them for what happened, and there's a big cover up. So, what we end up with is, after generations of these people not being given the tools or the support to heal themselves, we end up with the children, and they themselves have been traumatized. And they come with so many different issues. There's like the fetal alcohol, there's the ADHD, which is the least of their worries, autism, psychosis, schizophrenia, and a lot of these, they're never going to leave them. And so we try our best to help these kids and give them a safe place to heal. I've told some of the kids, I said, you started out with you had a rough start. You come to us, you have like a safe plateau. It's calm place, it's calm space, and we try to give you as much care and love as we can. And then what happens after that, like this age that they've selected as 19, that you age out, we hope that there is some of those skills you've been given that can carry you forward. Unfortunately, what happens for a lot of the kids, because that age 19, a lot of the kids are like a 12-year-old. And I was in a meeting a couple of years ago with a lot of the group homes, or the contracted agencies. MCFD fielded it. And I said to one of the managers there, I said, okay, so if you have a child who's 12, would you put them out on the street and expect them to get a job, pay rent, take care of their health care, pay their bills? And she said, no. And I said, well, a lot of our kids, when they're 19, they're like a 12-year-old. That trauma is still in them. And for them to be able to move forward and create some sort of a successful life is almost impossible. So my belief is we have the services, the skills, and there's a financial wherewithal in BC or right across Canada to take care of these kids. I mean, I think they should be with us until they're age 25, because maybe by then that 12-year-old will be more like an 18-year-old and be able to be successful or navigate somehow when they get out there into the world. Otherwise, we end up with the downtown east sides in Vancouver, or at the SkyTrain stations where you see some of these kids. I mean, the mental health issues, and it's right across Canada. Like, there's probably 60 to 80,000 kids in care. In BC, I think stats a couple of years ago was like 20, 30,000 kids. And a high number are First Nations kids being taken and put into care. And how many actually get to go back home to their families? I think the numbers are very low. And this is because we don't have the supports in place, especially for mental health, for helping these families even financially, so that they can reintegrate and do it in a culturally sensitive manner that brings their whole community together to help these kids heal. And it's from the elders all the way down to the kids. Like, it has to be something there, and I think we need to support them that way.